Kind of got from Sean Lane, and you hear it a lot in Andy James's playing as well. And it's the concept of fives. You hear it in Eric Johnson's playing a lot as well, actually, more so descending. It's the concept of playing 5-note groupings rather than your more traditional 4-note groupings. And we'll talk about rhythmic placement of this later on. But what we really need to get to grips with first is what I'm talking about when I say 5 notes. Okay, so if I just take A minor pentatonic at the 5th fret, I could play that ascending. I could play it ascending in groups of 4 though. If I play 4 notes, then 4 more notes starting on the next note. Those are 4-note groupings. Let's turn my volume down a touch. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So on and so forth. Quite a common sequence, you'll hear it a lot. What I like though, what I find fits more naturally under the fingers and sounds a little bit more interesting, is to play these 5-note groupings. So that the exercise that I'm going to present to you, first of all, sounds like this when played slowly. So what have we got going on there? Well, it's 5-note groupings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then ending the phrase. So let's take a look at the notes. I'm playing 7 on the A string, 5, 7 on the D, and then 5, 7 on the G. It's 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's actually quite a good alternate picking exercise, and I don't consider myself to be a good alternate picker. We'll come on to that later. But in order to be able to pick that well, you have to start with a downstroke. But when you repeat, you'll start with an upstroke. And it will kind of cycle round, starting the lick on a different pick stroke. So in order to play that accurately at speed, you have to have very good alternate picking, which makes it a good little lick to practice your alternate picking with. Besides the point. So once we've played those 5 notes, starting on the 7th fret, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach down a set of strings and play the higher note of the 2 notes in the pentatonic pattern. So, and you'll notice I do that with my 2nd finger. We'll come on to that when we're playing the licks fast. All I'm saying is I would recommend using your 2nd finger for that. So. The way I've notated this in the tablature, which you can download with your copy of the course, is with hammer on. So I'm pick, pick, hammer, and then picking. Now on this note on the 7th fret on the D string, I can move up 5 more notes, which will give me 7 on the D string, 5, 7 on the G, and then 5, 8 on the B. If I put those 2 things together. Now without a click, that just sounds like 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, I'm going to reach down with my 2nd finger to the 7th fret on the G string and move up 5 more notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 7 on the G, 5 on the B, 8 on the B, 5 on the high E, and 8 on the high E. Now we've got 3 groups of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll tell you what, to end it, what we'll do is we'll do our hammer from 5 to 8. We'll reach down to the 8th fret on the B string. We'll play 5 on the high E, and then we'll play 8 sliding up to 10 on the B. So we have Now if I play that a little bit faster for you. It's got quite an interesting sound to it. That's a pattern that we will come back to again and again on this course because I like those fives. And the reason for that is very simple. When you play groups of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, everything's very on the nose. The notes are always starting on beats, your sequences are starting on the beat, so you have it's very predictable. Whereas the fives, if we're putting our accents in different places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. It offsets, which creates a very interesting sound. So a creative way we can use technique in order to create something a little bit more interesting. So that's applying this fives to a very basic pentatonic pattern. One more addition to this that's well worth mentioning because I do this all the time is I'll start with a group of 4, which helps me shift into the pattern of fives. So what I mean by that is I'll play 4 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'll move into 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all I'm doing there is I'm starting with a hammer on from 5 to 7 on the A, a hammer on from 5 to 7 on the D. That's my 4 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I can reach down to the 7th fret on the A string and ascend with my groups of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have, and you can follow this in the tablature, make sure you download that and look at it. It will sound like this if I play slowly. And a little bit quicker. And a little bit quicker still. And then at the speed that I'd expect to play this sort of stuff. Quite an interesting sound. So that's applying it to a pentatonic pattern, but could we do more with this? The answer is obviously yes. So we've had this sound, but what would happen if I applied it to a different pattern? So instead of applying it to my pentatonic notes, 2 note per string, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you an excerpt from Break, which we're going to look at later, a solo we're going to look at later. And on that, I'm using a diminished vibe. It's more like a Phrygian dominant vibe. So instead of being our very obvious pentatonic, it's got more of this sound to it. Very Eastern vibe to it. Now, let me show you the fingering pattern for the scale shape we're going to use. It's actually just a diminished arpeggio, but starting with the root note. And then we'll apply our pattern of 5s to it. So the scale shape will look like this. 5, 6 on the A string. Then we have 4, 7 on the D. 5, 8 on the B. 7, 10 on the B. And then 8, 11 on the high E. So could end on that 10th fret. It's just a little diminished arpeggio. Now what I can do with that is I can apply my sequence that we've learnt. My group of 4, followed by a group of 5, followed by a group of 5, so on and so forth. I can hammer on from 5 to 6, 4 to 7. There's my group of 4. Now I'll reach down for the higher of the 2 notes on the A string, and I'll play 5 notes up, so. I'll do the same. I'll reach down to the 7th fret and I'll move up 5 notes. And again, I'll reach down to that 8th fret on the G string. And then I could slide up to the 14th fret to end that phrase. Let me walk you through that one note at a time, and then I'll play it a little bit faster for you. So 5, 6 on the A, 4, 7 on the D. Then we have 6 on the A, 4, 7, 5, 8. Reach down for 7 on the D, 5, 8 on the G, 7, 10 on the B, 8 on the G, 7, 10 on the B, 8, 11 on the high E. Let's end with a slide up to 14. In fact, let's go one better. Let's slide up to the 14, and then we're going to pull off to the 10th fret on the high E string. So, very cool sounding ending to that phrase. Now, let me put a bit more drive on. I'll play that slowly for you. It will sound like this. And on the neck pickup, and played quickly.